Ready to go green from Darlington Raceway for the throwback weekend. Unfortunately, no throwback schemes for us as well. I have no internet for this weekend again, so it should be fixed hopefully by the time this video is out on Sunday. At least that's what I've been told. But no internet also means no Jay in the booth with us this weekend. You are stuck with me for the 92 laps of Darlington. Stages being 25, 25, and 42 laps here as Daniel Suarez leads the way down into turn 1 for the first time ever here in NR2003. We are using the Better Cautions mod, which allows us to have more modern style NASCAR racing with the cautions, with overtime now being a possibility, as well as double file restarts. Very exciting times ahead now. Is this the first race testing it, so it might have some issues. I've already had a couple of big issues that has made me actually restart this race, so hopefully you're seeing the final version in this current talking that I'm doing now. As Martin Truex Jr. clear of the 34 down towards turn 1 and settled in and sorted out. Looks like Ty Gibbs might be off the pace as he heads down this back straightaway. You see some right side damage on that car, and there's certainly a lack of pace in that number 54. His rookie season continues to have its ups and downs right now. Darlington, of course, the most probably physically demanding track and the toughest track on the NASCAR calendar. You're going to see a lot of drivers flirting with that outside wall here tonight. Daniel Suarez might have qualified pole position, but the caution is going to fly here in Darlington as they head down this back straightaway. It's the 14 of Briscoe and the 6 of Brad Keselowski out. Bubba Wallace catching the outside wall in 1 and 2, and watch this right here. You're going to see it get forced 3 wide, very hard to work at Darlington, and there it is, contact with the 14, and Brad Keselowski nowhere to go as well, and that's going to bring out an early caution in Darlington. Denny Hamlin's going, only 2 tires for Suarez and Hamlin, and the 41 as well. So we're seeing a mix of 2 tires and 4 tire calls. And how about this? The 19 of Truex, a very slow pit stop there as well. How cool of a sight is this to see? We're getting ready to go back green, and other than an original start on a restart, it's double file restarts here as Daniel Suarez, Denny Hamlin get ready to lead the field back to green on those 2 tires. Now we know the 41 and the 4 also might be on 2 fresh tires here. Quite a few drivers did take 2, but still the large majority on 4. We'll see how this works out. These drivers only have to hang on for a little over 10 laps here if you're on the 2 fresh tires before you can make another pit stop potentially at the end of stage number 1. Daniel Suarez, it's an interesting season for him so far. We have seen him win stages already this season. Actually, 3 stage wins to Daniel Suarez's name. However, with the consistency issues he's been lacking, he is still finding himself, like I said, 11 points below the cut line behind his teammate Ross Chastain. Looks like Blaney might fight back into the wall again. We got more Darlington stripe action here, and multiple cars in the wall in this set of corners now. Will this lead to an accident? No, they keep it clean here, but these drivers absolutely abusing the right sides of their cars here tonight in Darlington. Now that 45 of Reddick, fortunately for him, didn't get in it too hard, so it's not going to be the end of the world for him in that number 45 Monster Energy Toyota Camry. And we've how about Joey Logano? However, we've seen this in real life this season. We're seeing it again here today. He has either a really good car or he's got a car that is really struggling, and right now it certainly seems like he's on the struggle bus, running currently in that 23rd or 24th position. Front though, it's McDowell now making a move for second place. 3 laps to go on the stage. Suarez has led every single lap so far, but I don't know if it's going to stay that way for long, because here comes the 34 of McDowell looking to take the series lead on stage wins with 4. Kyle Larson's really moved his way forward recently here. Byron's continuing to struggle. I see him slowing out of the groove. He caught the outside wall on the exit of turn 2 as we focus back up front, and there it is. A pass for the lead with 2 laps to go in the stage. Suarez goes from leading the first 23 to, well, with 2 to go in stage 1. He turned 3 and 4. Suarez still going to get a very respectable second place effort here now as we put in the yellow flag command. Michael McDowell wins stage number 1 here in Darlington. The pace car is going to roll, and there you see at the line the top 10. Kyle Busch is able to pick up the final stage point here in Darlington. Due to the timing of the caution, the pace car was not ahead of McDowell, Suarez, Priest, Larson, or Hamlin. So they all had to stay on the track as everybody else comes into the pit lane, which means that these drivers up here are going to have to pit likely next time around or hope for another caution. But Ready to go green for stage 2, then Kevin Harvick, Noah Gragson, your front row with Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola to follow now down towards turn number 1, lap 30 underway of 92. Not a lot of racing here in Darlington this weekend now. You see that 42 right up against that outside wall as they exit the corner now. Of course, got to pay attention to the drivers in the back. Look at this midfield right here. You got the 2 slower cars that wrecked earlier. That's the 14 of Briscoe, the 6 of Keselowski, and then of course you got Kyle Larson, Suarez, Parise, Hamlin, McDowell, all trying to recover from that, well, oddly timed yellow or not. How about Chris Buescher, however, putting that RFK number 17 currently up inside the top 10 is in the wall in the background. 2 cars, the 51 and then the 6 of Keselowski all the way back there. Chastain nearly getting into him. Keselowski with a very rough night so far. Now just 10 laps to go in stage number 2. Harvick's opened up the gap a little bit to that number 42 of Gragson, Ryan Blaney. They're a few car lengths behind. That number 42 is starting to see things separate a little bit here throughout this grid. Now a nice clean stage at number 2 so far in Darlington. Kyle Larson, one of those drivers moving forward at 47 of Sinos into the outside wall in that Coca-Cola Chevrolet. Harrison Burton, a great run currently, P11. We've seen some moments of him this season, a few moments of kind of, I guess, light of hope, light at the end of the tunnel for that number 21 car. Side by side between Almirola and Truex, 3 to go in stage number 2. You got this whole line of cars lined up behind that number 4 of Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick at this point now, as Gregson's going to be far too far back, as he had to, of course, play defense over that number 12 as they head down through 3 and 4 for the final time. You have all these cars just under a blanket. Kyle Busch at the inside of the 12, but it's Kevin Harvick who's going to come through to win stage number 2. We won't throw the caution just yet until everybody's past the pace car. Everyone gets awarded the same spot for where they cross the line at, but everybody's just now crossing the line to Harvick. Going to be the first one out of his pit box over that 42 of Noah Gragson, so he'll win the race out of the pit lane. Ryan Blaney going to be in P3. How about Chris Buescher moving up into 4th place right there? Great stop for that number 17 crew, and he's going to be setting himself up really well, being on row number 2, but specifically on the outside, which is the preferred lane here, which could put him through potentially into a 3rd or a 2nd place on what could be the final restart of the day. Ready to go green for this 3rd and final stage, which is now going to be underway here in Darlington. And how about this? F4 of Harvick caught sleeping on the restart. Noah Gragson might be clear down towards turn number 1. Looks like there might have been an issue towards the back here. Yes, there definitely was some separation right here, but everybody's still relatively close together. But definitely something happened right there. But how about this? Harvick side by side with that 42 down this back straightaway. The 17 is actually on the inside as they head down into turn number 3. And you see Harvick, he will get back clear on the exit of 4. How about that power move right there? It's hard to make passes on the inside, but Kevin Harvick just proved that you can make it happen absolutely now as they head down towards turn 1 again. Does the 17 of Chris Buescher have anything to give to that 42? I don't know if he does. It's going to be close side by side through the center of 1 and 2, but on the exit of the corner, that outside prevails. It's going to be Gragson back to 2nd place. What a day he is having here in Darlington now, as pay attention to this Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, because he has been moving his way forward, and you can just see that move right there. It was a power move up the inside of the 3 as they head down into turn 1. This might move him into P8. Yes, I think he will get clear. Yes, he will. And next up, how about this? A 21 of Harrison Burton earlier in 11th place. Now inside the top 10. Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick with an issue down the back straightaway. Kevin Harvick leading the race has had an issue. It looks like a mechanical issue for the number 4. He's coming into the pit lane. That's going to put Noah Gragson out in front here. Kevin Harvick, who's been dominant since he was taking the lead in the beginning of stage number 2, is now finding himself in trouble. Chris Buescher again looking to the inside on the exit of 4. They're going to be side by side drag racing down this front straightaway across the stripe. Lap 66 underway. Kyle Busch, could he try to find a way to sneak in behind this 42 and get past that 17 of Chris Buescher? Looks like he had to kind of sacrifice the exit of the corner, and you can see Buescher clear. He's going to slide up again in front of that number 8. So Kyle Busch, Gragson has an impressive resume when it comes to Darlington. He is a driver that has really excelled at this track in the Xfinity Series, and we're seeing it in the Cup Series now. But there goes again up the inside the 17, but it's not going to be enough there. He needs to try and find a way to make a move, maybe right here, the 42, while leading the race. He's going to get into the outside wall, hit it again on the exit of 4, slides across the nose of Kyle Busch, nearly takes him out. 48 car in the background as well. Alex Bowman into the outside wall, but Kyle Busch to the inside of Noah Gragson. He's going to be half a car length ahead. If he can enter turn 1, a good half car length still ahead, he might have an opportunity to complete this pass. And there it is. Kyle Busch powers through on the inside. Into second place he goes, and his RCR teammate not far behind, running in 5th place, Austin Dillon there, but he's going to have to hold off that number 9 of Chase Elliott. Cindric turned into the inside wall. The caution's going to probably fly here, but it might not. That was down off the racing line. However, I do have authority to throw a caution for something that should obviously be a yellow. Here's the look. Cindric into the outside wall. Not the first time, of course, we've seen this happen, but watch on the exit of turn 2. Bounces, hits the 38. And Gilliland cuts him, no break, not much that 38 can really do in that scenario, and turns that 2 into the inside wall. We have some split strategy here. The top 4, they're going to remain on the racetrack, and we see others. Harvick staying out, but Austin Dillon is going to come in and bring Chase Elliott with him. And very interesting call to see, and I'm a little bit surprised by these top 4 electing to stay on the track, and Kevin Harvick as well. Decides to stay on the track. Chastain and the 77, they have to come in next time by as they are scored a lap down. So very, very bold calls here as these drivers may be looking to potentially try and use this caution to save enough fuel, but I don't see how they can make it personally. You see all these cars with the right side damage in this field. Everybody's got some damage today. You can see some 3 wide as well. As out of the pit lane, though, Austin Dillon's going to win that race. This is a crucial race to win out of the pits. 3 wide in the background even there. But it's going to be that 3 of Austin Dillon, who might be in the catbird seat to maybe get a Southern 500 victory now, as it looks like, actually, as well, these top 4 are going to come into the pits. So it appears that the 2 lap cars, the 4 and the 77, did not end up going to the back of the pack. So they are going to be out in front for this restart, but it's Austin Dillon and Aric Almirola who's side by side for the actual lead of this race. Harrison Burton, don't count him out as well now, as I'm still confused by the 17, the 18, or the 8 and the 20 did not come into the pits there when they could have, when the pace car was still ahead of them. But now all of a sudden we have a drag race down this back straightaway for the lead, but you got the 2 lap cars in front of Harvick and that number 77 of Ty Dillon. Austin Dillon side by side for the lead with Aric Almirola right now, but of course you want to get these 2 drivers out of the way if possible now, but they're side by side for that lead position. And it's Chase Elliott, who we've been talking about all night long. He's been moving his way forward, just kind of picking off positions as the race goes. Allen tries to get clear. Almirola, he does get to the right rear quarter panel, just over 10 laps to go in this final stage, and Chase Elliott is right there as well for the taking, but no one's going to get past that 3 as he continues to lead. Laps to go, and Almirola in position to maybe steal a win from that 3 of Austin Dillon. It's been a heck of a season so far when it comes to surprise winners. Larson into the outside wall, and uncharacteristically in the turn 4 outside. While we've seen it all usually happen in 1 and 2, not really 3 and 4, but their turn 1 is very unlikely, but that 3 is boxed in hard behind that 77, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here now, as you can see that 9's going to fill that gap. That's the worst case scenario for Aric Almirola. He's going to really have a horrendous exit out of turn 2, and he loses so much time and brings Chase Elliott into the forefront, and now Austin Dillon has a mirror full of a Chevrolet partner inside. The 9's going to stay high. This could be a big move, but Austin Dillon, he's side by side, nearly dead even. It might be enough to get clear into turn 1 and 2. We're going to find out. It's going to be very close, actually, and Austin Dillon, he does it. Dillon is clear. Elliott, white flag is in the air. What could have been for that driver right there of Kevin Harvick, who was in control of this race, had an issue, had to come back down into the pits, but looked like a loose wheel, and make, of course, that change on the right sides, and that has obviously thrown a curveball. We've seen a few more curveballs with pit stops, but it's all Austin Dillon down the back straightaway for the final time through 3 and 4, and for the first time this season, Richard Childress Racing is going to pick up a victory, and it's Austin Dillon, not Kyle Busch like you expect. Dillon wins in Darlington in the number 3. Chase Elliott is going to come home in second place over AJ Allmendinger, as well as Almirola and Harrison Burton round out the top 10. What a night for that 21 team there, better than all the Penske drivers. We saw a very nice clean race, but exciting race at the same time,